Welcome to Don Bosco in a Year podcast.
Day 23. The Seminary Life. As there is little variety in the daily round of seminary life, I shall give a brief sketch of the general background and then an account of some events in particular. I will begin with a word about the superiors. I was greatly attached to them, and they always treated me with the greatest kindness. But my heart was not satisfied. The rector and other superiors usually saw us only when we returned after the holidays and when we were leaving for them. The students never went to talk to them except to receive corrections. The staff members took weekly turns to assist in the refectory and to take us on walks. That was all. How often I would have liked to talk to them, ask their advice, or resolve a doubt and could not. In fact, if a superior came to the scene, the seminarians, with no particular reason, would flee left and right as if he were a monster. This only served to inflame my heart to become a priest as quickly as I could, so that I could associate with young people, help them, and meet their every need. And as for my companions, I stuck to my beloved mother's advice. That is, I fraternized only with companions who had a devotion to Mary and who loved study and piety. Here, I must give a word of warning to seminarians. In the seminary, there are many clerics of outstanding virtue, but there are others who are dangerous. Not a few young men, careless of their vocation, go to the seminary lacking either the spirit or the goodwill of a good seminarian. Indeed, I remember hearing some companions indulging in very bad language. Once a search amongst some students' personal belongings unearthed impious and obscene books of every kind. It is true that this later left the seminary, either of their own accord to light, but as long as they stayed, they were a plague to good and bad alike. To avoid such dangerous associates, I chose some who were well known as models of virtue. There were William Garigliano, John Giacomelli of Avigliana and late, Luis Comolo. For me, these three friends were a treasure. The practices of piety were well conducted. Each morning we had Mass and meditation and rosary. Edifying books were read during meals. In those days, Burkassel's history of the church was read. We were expected to go to confession once a fortnight, but those who wished could go every Saturday. We could only receive Holy Communion, however, on Sundays and on special feasts. We did receive communion sometimes on weekdays, but doing so meant that we had to act contrary to obedience. It was necessary to slip out, usually at breakfast time, to St. Philip's Church next door, receive Holy Communion, and then join our companions as they were going into the study hall or to class. This infraction of the timetable was prohibited, but the superiors gave tacit consent to it, since they knew it was going on and sometimes observed it without saying anything to the contrary. In this way, I was able to receive Holy Communion much more frequently, and I can rightly say it was the most efficacious support of my vocation. This defect of piety was corrected then through an order of Archbishop Gastaldi. Things were arranged so as to permit daily communion provided one is prepared.
Thank you for joining us today on this journey to know Don Bosco. May these reflections deepen our faith, guide us closer to God each day, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Till then, keep seeking, keep praying, keep growing.